My name is Liviu Mantescu. I am a political economist. I have nothing to do with programming and so on. And I worked in macro political economic theory at in Cologne at the Max Planck Institute, and on environmental policy in Brussels and here in Berlin at the Humboldt University, until I decided that I had enough and I need fresh air and I want to expand. So I took some of the theoretical issues from political economy and philosophy of knowledge into practice. The talk today will be about water hives. And I want to link a little bit the discussions we had before, namely what we just heard from Amsterdam. Our colleague was saying, for example, the insects were not doing something creatively, they were just acting based on a chemical substance. They were acting instinctually. Thibaut from Polkadot was talking about separate blockchains, that they don't communicate one with each other. The very idea of being is of being connected. You cannot be by yourself. You need to have reference towards something. Otherwise, you cannot exist in yourself. Let's go back to blockchain, to what Thibaut was saying. As soon as you have a blockchain which is not linked to some other things, you created an entity which most probably will parasite. Why? Because it's not able to draw energy, to receive energy from its environment, so it will catch, it will be tended to catch energy by force from the outside. I won't go very deep in this. You can follow some of my thoughts on Medium. There was an article, The Great Transformation. So being means belonging to something, being in relation with something, and means also to contain something. Once you are connected, you exchange information, no matter what that is. The ants exchange biochemical substances, whatever, and based on this they act. So to be is to belong and to contain. Then we have to act. Our colleague from Amsterdam was just saying, they just act. There is no such a thing as just acting. So you are programmed. We are programmed, and to a certain level, we humans were programmed. We have our DNA, we have our genes. And as soon as we add acting towards something with intention, then we have creation, we have a creative act. And here we make the distinction between intelligence and instinct. Again, I will not go further into this artificial intelligence, exactly what do I mean. If you got a little bit the idea, if not, please, as I said, you can follow some of my writings on Medium. Then we have the flow. The flow is beacting and presence. Well, I make few notes because usually I'm nervous and I forget my keywords. Which is exactly what I told you at the beginning. I moved from the fundamental research to applied research because I wanted to expand. Beacting means to expand. To put it very simple. And presence means beacting and knowing that or expanding and knowing that you expand, knowing where you are at and knowing what you are doing. So these are three categories I'm going to follow in a empirical example, which is my project now. I'm founder at Puraqvo, where I was thinking at the following, okay, from a very pure economic perspective, how can we bring money into natural ecosystem restoration? And for this, we need several things. We need data, and we need a good communication. So in other words, we need to show that there is, and we need to act. I took one of the problems, if you go to the doctor and you want to see if something's wrong with you, what you do first thing, you take a blood test. If you want to see how is the state of certain natural ecosystems, what you do, you look at the water. What is the main problem with the superficial water we have nowadays? The nitrate pollution. 70% of the pollution of the surface water on the planet comes from agriculture. Okay, so this is the problem. Now the water companies which gives us water to drink, those of us who still drink from the tap, they have high costs, and they really struggle with this. In dry season, up to 9% of their operation and maintenance costs is only for getting the nitrate out. They think about paying the peasants, the farmers, to use fertilizer more consciously and to lower their in Germany we call it Gülle. It's basically shit and so on from the cows, right? So to lower this, but it doesn't work. Why? Because they don't have the monitoring. Yeah, they don't have monitors, a system of monitoring in place to know how much nitrate is decreasing or not. Or they just spend 15 million US dollars for a reverse osmosis unit. So our solution is this, is a water quality cascade sensor monitoring system. We follow the water. We follow the water in its flow, following the hydrological model, and we dispose sensors following the creeks and the rivers, and with this we isolate the farms. And we can see how much a farm is polluting. So how does it work? Quite simple. We have again I forgot a word. Basically above, like a sensor or a group of sensors, the farm, and downwards, and we can see the quality of water upstream, this is the word, and downstream. And this, then it comes the next farm and the next farm. Here is the beneficiary, sorry for the colors, the water company, the state as well. So what is happening, we have these sensors or clusters of sensors which are placed by combining three models. The hydrological model provided by the water company, the digital elevation modeling we get from the satellite, and the economic modeling we will have from the farmers themselves. That means we need to know what kind of plants they are cultivating, how much, and what kind of cattle they have, how many. Now, the sensors are sending the data per 15 minutes, per hour, whatsoever, depending how are we going to power them. Are we going to power them solar? More often, are we going to use battery 6 hours a day? Every 6 hours, sorry. Sending it to a curation registry, basically, which only shows which one of the sensors works and how it works, like if it is in the parameters. Collecting server, we batch a score per day, According to that score, which is actually the KPI, this score will be compared to the KPI that the farmer himself sets. He will say, I will use this amount of fertilizer, which is translated in that amount of nitrogen. Then we compare it. How much are you? Above or below this? And if you stay below that, you will get prize, you will get money, you will get paid. And this is how we incentivize him. So we don't punish him, we incentivize him to keep his word. Then the water company receives the digital units of service and the physical units of service, the pool of the money, right? So the payment can be done by day using API, bank connection, or using tokens, whatever. This is not a problem. Yeah, basically the market is like this. There are 1.23 billion euro spent in European Union. We address first the European Union market alone for the nitrate. So of course we are customer oriented, so we are doing here business. We aim to a reduction of the operation and maintenance costs up to 9%. The product will be, of course, tailored for the partners, and then we will have a lot of data on water quality from agriculture, which is another story. Where we are now, we are in the market validation, trying to, it's very possible in the following month to get an LOI with a Riva from the Netherlands. Hello, Netherlands. Are we connected? I don't know. Are we? All right. Which is a water association of water companies, or with someone, I will not tell the name, in Germany, in northwest Germany. In the Netherlands, they have real problem with Gülle, with this, cow shit and so on. They are falsifying the numbers there. They really have bad problems. Okay, prototyping in spring. With the sensors on the market are quite expensive, so we want to make some improvements here as well. We met today with partners from Fraunhofer to develop a more suitable sensor which will be addressed specifically for this problem, so measuring only nitrate. We will use optical sensors, so no ion selective ones. Yeah, so what else? Yeah, of course, results of the case study and basically being ready to scale starting with 2020. We will develop this, as I said, together with our partner, and it will be profit sharing. He will have skin in the game. This means they will help us to get access to the market, and it will help us with scalability. This is our team. Van working in ecology and research. Yatan worked a lot on accelerators, agriculture around the world, Africa, Ghana, so on. And David, he is like really a sensor guy, the sensor specialist. The Waterhive. This is an interface. The sensors, we are aiming at. Imagine the sensors are placed along the watershed. One valley with its sensors communicates with the next valley, which has its own swarm of sensors. And they will want to be more of them, yeah, to replicate themselves. They ask for, because they are at the basis of healthy environments. A healthy environment is beneficial for both human and for them, because there will be more of them, and having an incremental power to self-develop themselves, to self-multiply themselves. This is the idea. Yeah. Thank you.